Hi everyone, it's Sammy from Sammy's Sweet Life, and we are under quarantine, so I thought I would go ahead and start working on my February goals. I've already worked on them a little bit. I did a little brainstorming session last night, and I am using, again, the Moxie Life flagship planner and also the Cultivate What Matters power sheets in the teal. So these are the two that I use. I kind of duplicate a little bit. I really wanted to give both of these a really fair shake this year so I can review them, compare and contrast them for you guys. I really like working with both of them together so far. I've just really liked it. I don't know that I'll be able to break it down and just use one. So far, I've just really liked both. So I'm going forward into February. I'm going to be working on some of this today. So I'm going to just show you guys what I have already planned out, do a little bit of brainstorming this afternoon, and this is going to serve as my February prep video. Let's jump to the other camera angle and we will go ahead and start brainstorming and dive right in. Okay, first things first, I do need to snip off the cover. I'm gonna just snip this one off and then I can stick on my new cover. I do want to show you guys, I'm not gonna show you the actual page I'm on because it's just family stuff, but I do have this planner set out. There it is. Okay, so I'll flip to the February. I actually have this planner just sitting up against the wall and it has all of our like family and monthly things on it. So I can just see it at a glance when I'm in here. And you can see Livy turns 7 on the 28th of February, but I'm going to have it just sitting out. I have my January calendar all mapped out, and I will do the same thing with the February, but this will be an off-camera personal thing because it will cover like more sensitive information and things I just don't want you guys like knowing about ahead of time. I feel like that's where I'm building in the privacy and the boundaries in my filming. I don't want you guys to know exactly what I'm doing, what day I'm doing it ahead of time. Like, I don't care if you know what we did previously. That's why I'm putting the weekly Plan With Me's on a week delay so you guys can see our previous week, but you don't actually see like our upcoming what we're going to do. So you don't know exactly where I'm going to be every moment of the day. Anyway, that is just sitting here like against the wall and I can see it really nice and big. I do need to get like some sort of easel or something because sometimes it slips down a little bit, but right now it's just sitting up there. Okay, so we're going to snip this one off and then I'm going to show you guys the cover that I have to stick on here, and by the time you guys see this video you will already probably anticipate what cover is going on this thing. So I push it to the side like as far as I can against the coil and then I just try to snip each one, and I might have to snip them individually, like snip the plastic cover separate. I don't know, these tiny scissors might not cut it for this job. I feel like I've used these tiny ones before, but maybe not. They seem to be on the struggle bus with this. And you know what? I might get to the point, since I already have like 3 of these covers. This is how you do it if you want to save the cover. But since I already have like tons of these plastic sheets and also like 3 of these exact same covers, I might just cut down the whole side and save myself all the trouble. Let's do that. So I'm just gonna be tossing this one. All right. And then you can pull out the other piece, and there might be little pieces, yeah. Okay. There's a couple little pieces. Right, that one's done. I'm going to do the same thing on all sides of this. And this hasn't been used at all. I'm excited to test it out and try to use it. I tried to anticipate what categories I would want in this layout. So I put my own custom titles all over this one. That is done. Now it's the reveal. What cover do you think's going on here? I'll give you 2 guesses, and both of them are trolls. You see that? I am actually gonna go purple. Purple poppy. And if I had, I'll show you, I have her notebook in here from earlier. If I had this in a 7x9, I would totally be using it, no question about it. But this one's gonna be the cover I use. And then I'm gonna put actually that, I already started writing in here, you can see through that. I'm going to actually use this notebook this month. I just thought I would use it for brain dump, ideas, and future planning, and all my thoughts in one place. So I definitely want a cover on this one. I think I'm going to put the Good Luck Trolls on there as well. So we're just going to do a swappy swap. Swap out the covers. And I do want to try out that hourly layout at some point. And I do love this little gold coil. I don't know, I never thought to get the other color coils just because, first of all, it's $10 extra and I'm kind of a tightwad with certain things, and that's one of them. I'm like, I'm not gonna pay $10 for just a different color coil, but dang, this thing's pretty. Now I really want one of the rose gold ones because they are pretty, and I just never thought to like, it was never a question on my mind. I was never paying the 10 extra dollars to get a different color coil. It just wasn't something I was gonna do, even though, you know, like, okay, $10 is a lot, but it's only $10 at the same time. It never crossed my mind to spend the money for a different color. But now it definitely is, because that is pretty. Okay, that one's done. Let's get this one on. It's actually 30 degrees here and it's sleeting right now, so it's crazy. This is Texas. I hope we don't have a repeat of last year. I feel like the more I do this, the better I'm getting at doing the covers like that one. That one was pretty good, guys. I think I'm getting a little bit better at it, even though I'm still not the greatest at it, but I seem to be getting sort of the hang of it. And oh, and then I talk and then it's not working. Okay, there we go. Covers. So that is going to be my daily, and I love that February is the teal color, and I kind of want to use the March too because it's like that minty aqua color. And then this one, the one thing I'll say about this, I feel like the teal lines are awesome, but this blue just does not look like a lighter version of the same color to me. Something about this print color seems off. I wish it was a little bit more teal leaning than this like steely blue look. So that part is kind of disappointing, I feel like. The one thing I will say about the plum paper planner that I found that I do not like is these dots. So I have to either like check over these weird random dots or like dot pen over the dots so you can see the dots through the dot pen, or I have to highlight them when they're done. So I don't like those very much. Whereas these ones, I will just make my own dots. I wish these were totally not here. That would be my only complaint, like initially looking at this. I had that problem with the other daily layout that's a 2-column system. It has these dots and I find the dots annoying because I want to do my own thing with them. Anyway, so this is going to be my daily. It is set up nice and pretty with that Trolls planner, and this is just going to be like a brain dump style notebook. I found that I just need more lined paper, so I thought this would be a perfect thing to try out. So those two are just going to be set up and set aside. And then I will show you guys how I have done February so far. I was really brainstorming last night. So look, I have like most of my February goals already outlined. I do need to break some of them down. I don't have like focus situations for every different goal. And then in here, I have not updated my tending list, I don't think at all. I might have written one thing on here. Nope, not even anything. So I will like work through some of this brainstorming and it will get me to the same place. And again, I don't know how to use this monthly. I know you can. This is my January section. So I find that brainstorming, preparing pages in here, I haven't really like gone to them first, which I probably should. Like I should do that before I do all of this. But this is already mostly mapped out because of this page where I have all of the different seasons that they call it, or they're really just quarters. All the quarters are already mapped out for me, like color coded, mapped out. So I feel like it was easy to go from that year to glance goal sheet to writing out my goals for this month. And a lot of these are continuations on from February or even previous, like back in 2021, I was working on some of these things like the AM routine. I'm just, at this point, I'm tweaking it, changing up a few things. Like I'm testing out AM reading in February. That's just gonna be something that I'm adding to it, experimenting with, like me sitting down, writing into the February pages here. It's just gonna be me looking at this and just kind of duplicating and also just kind of brainstorming. This will be like a brain dump page because it's got important to-dos I'm excited for on my mind. I'm hopeful that, and I won't do this part on camera because it's something that I'm gonna think about and probably like sit in the bed one night like I was sitting in the bed last night working on this. And then monthly calendar, again, no idea what I want to do with that one. And then I can break some of them down and then I will put some of my action items on here that I can track throughout the month. Whereas a lot of these are going to be like from week to week things or just one-off things. I will designate which ones are which so that I can track them on here a really nice way. And I have my January one stuck to my January tab. So you can see I'm making progress on a lot of it. Yeah, we're currently in week 4, so I've got to look and see what of those I have done. But until everybody came down with Corona, I was keeping track of this really well. So that's just something that's on here. There's my home gym project I wrote right on the tab. I didn't do anything with the January tabs, but for February, I want to do gratitude on here. I think it'll look nice to just like look at it and it'll be a page that just totally fills my happy bucket when I go back and look at it. So I might end up, since I have been keeping track of gratitude, I might end up going back and writing the gratitude in here and duplicating it in here just so that I have it all like all nice and pretty. I do have it currently in my spaces notebook down the side columns. But again, like, I don't know that I'm going to use one of these pages every week. You can see like all of it's done down the side columns and I highlight it. So this is the week I'm working on. I just haven't highlighted it yet. But I love the way it looks on here, but in practice, I don't think I'm going to be using this every week because you can see I haven't even filled out from week to week all of these different sections. But I do refer back to this. I do end up using these lined pages quite a bit. So I do make lists, but I don't need a whole page per week. I have not finished up this week yet. I've still got this week and next week, and then this will be filled out. So this is the current week. All heck broke loose this week. You can see, haven't tracked anything. Wrote in a couple of my weekly actions for next week, and that'll be it for this month. So I'm feeling like I'm doing pretty good. I wrote in the reflections every week. I've been keeping track of it aside from this week when all heck broke loose, but I am still working and chugging along at the goals. I am incorporating in this one, and I'm going to use this one, I think, for scrapbooking. I was thinking, first of all, you map out just one goal, this month's goal. You put it up at the top and then you break it down from week to week. And I'm trying to sort all of the photos on my phone. I think I can get through it this month. So that's part of like breaking it down. And I also want to start working a little bit on some Project Life backlog with those same months. So once I get through all of the photos, I can start working on that Project Life backlog. So I'm thinking maybe the first 2 weeks of the month, I will get through sorting all the photos. That means more than 100 photos a day because I have so many on my phone. So that would be where I'd concentrate, and then I'd break down like getting a month done in Project Life for each one of these things. So I'd have to pick out what weeks, and then the rest of the stuff won't really relate to that in here so far. I did end up working on these front pages. You can pause and read some of the stuff. I did end up writing out some of my goals from here into these categories. And then I have some one-off tasks too. So any of my like monthly recurring things that I'm going to be working on all month long are going to go here. The weekly things, the daily things, I have to divide everything out, but I have my goals pretty much like solidified and written into this one. So I am going to be working on moving some of them over to here as we dot them. So this is going to be the setup. We're going to flip to my February goals, and it's a 2-page thing. You can see lots of goals. I'm going to be dotting these and then transferring some of them over to this monthly action page. We'll just flip over to this side for now so you guys can see up on the screen, and I will turn this so that I can write as I'm going. So I've got my pen here. For personal editing Sami popping in, I'm going to speed up this next thing. It is looking like I'm like trying to talk to the camera, and I was, but I decided I'm going to split this up to have a dedicated goals video, because it was going to get way too long to have the goals explanation in here as well. So that maps out those goals. That maps out everything for here. I do want to put a little sticker. I like these Cultivate What Matters stickers. I've been using them weekly too, these little motivation stickers. Yeah, it says, get motivated. And then up here, I like this one. Done is better than perfect. So that's going to be our little mantra for this month. I will end up taking this out, and I found that having it in the Moxie Life book has been beneficial, but I still just naturally don't go to this every day, which is unfortunate. I'll go to it because it's on my little checklist thing. You can see it's on my checklist, so I end up going to it because of that and then forgetting about it otherwise. I don't know what I would use this monthly spread for, but if it was like the gratitude one or something, I would come to this every day, but I want the gratitude in this one. So the other thing I'm thinking is write in my goal work for the day. Like if I'm working on some goals, I will have this. So I'll keep this in here. I'll have this to refer to, and I'll also think and say, what goal work did I do today? And then I can write it in. So that way I have like all my wins in here. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So that's a thought that I'm playing around with as far as trying to use this planner more, because it just sits there otherwise and I forget about the sheet. I really just need to get in the habit of using the tending list every day, and it's so far not been a habit. It's been something I think as an afterthought. That covers all of the goal work for these guys. I still need to map out my goal work in here. So I will do that as my next little to-do list thing. This is my game plan. I will have to write in the week-to-week stuff, but here's what I've got started. I have my Project Life 2020 and 2019 checklist here. I haven't done a whole lot in either month or either year, you can see that. So I ended up writing in, sorting the rest of 2019 photos. I split it up into 2 different weeks because there are lots and lots of photos still on my phone for each of these categories. And then week 3, I will try to get done with February 2019, week 4, March 2019, and week 5, April 2019. So it will fade into March a little bit. This last week we'll be starting March stuff. Okay, I have worked a little bit more on goal setting. I don't know that this is necessarily the final setup. I still have a couple more days to work on it, but this is going to be how I'm going to wrap up this video. I did end up outlining my February goal in this plum paper soft bound. They call these stitched journals, and maybe I'm just too picky, and somebody else left a comment as well when I did the walkthrough of this. This is a stapled journal, and they say it's they call it a saddle stitched journal, which technically speaking, like if you're doing publishing and stuff, they do call these staples saddle stitch staples. So it is a saddle stitch stapled journal. It is not a saddle stitched journal. It's not stitched, it's not sewn, it's stapled. But in all of the descriptions on the Plum Paper Planner website, it just says stitched or saddle stitched. It doesn't say anything about staples, and I looked through all of the pictures because I was pretty surprised it was stapled when it arrived. I looked through all the pictures, and there was one very light picture that if you're looking really, really close, you can see one staple, like it has a notebook really on the edge like this, basically faced mostly from the top, and you can catch a glimpse of one teeny tiny staple, but every other image just shows them completely open, not to the staple page, just like this. And they're like, oh yeah, they lay flat, they're beautiful stitched journals. Okay, 1, it's not laying flat, and 2, it's saddle stitch stapled, which right there is not the nicest publishing term, but they didn't mention staples anywhere. They make it definitely sound like it's sewn based on how they're writing. It's like beautiful saddle stitching. No, this is a staple. So I just want to put that out there. Anyway, it's definitely a gripe, and I will write to them about this. Be like, it's kind of misleading. Not that I don't love my Plum Paper Planner stuff, but it's definitely misleading that that is a staple and not sewn. Anyway, going into what I wrote out, this is how I set up the month, February 2022, and I'm using the Get Sorted app, which I've mentioned in other things. This is the app. I don't know, about halfway through June, so I'm trying to wrap up June, and it may go into week 1, depending on how much I can get done, since there's still like 800 photos left in that one, but the rest of them still need to get done through the year. So I will work on those coming up, and then I will start in trying to catch up with Project Life for 2019. Since those months are already sorted, like look, there's 90 photos in February. I can knock those out, like making collage prints or whatever, and knock those out and put like a 2-page spread together for the month of February and March. I think I have January already done, but I can really just knock those out. They're like, you know, these ones are 140 photos still. I can still knock those out. I think I can get it done in a week, just like any of my little downtime where I'm sitting and kind of mindlessly scrolling on my phone. I could do this instead. I tend to sort photos during that time now that I'm trying to do more photos. So that's my week outline based on this. And then big things happening this month. We're going to have lots of dance rehearsals because competition season is starting. And then we also have Girl Scout cookies to contend with. And then my monthly phrase here is progress, not perfection. And then over here, these are little steps. These have nothing to do with the actual like scrapbook goals. And I went ahead and wrote out my first week here. Sort through July and August 2019, sort through July, sort through August, and then also finish June if needed. So I still may have some June left since there's only a few more days in January. And then habit tracking, daily sort, make Project Life progress, challenge I might face, quarantine making my schedule off, which has totally been this week. I haven't sorted through nearly as many photos as I thought I would. And then what I'm excited for, having more room on my phone. So these photos are on my phone taking up lots of space, and I would really like my phone to have a lot more space on it. So that's pretty much it. I still have other things I can map out here. And then this is the reflection page for that week. So this will start next week. I'm very excited about that. I don't think I changed anything on my tending list, but I'll go ahead and show it to you guys here. That's what my tending list looks like. You can pause it if you want to see. I'm going to also actually add macros on here because I decided to put that into my goals, which I'll talk about. So that is on there, and I will have to do my reflection for January, which is on the back of my January tending list. So that's still on the to-do list there in the next couple of days. And then I ended up adding one more goal on here, which is the macros. So we'll flip to February here. And I think that's the only goal I added. I was thinking about that one, and I went ahead and I said, I'm gonna go ahead and just do it because I need to start with the protein. That's all I'm tracking, really. I'm tracking my protein. So start macro tracking. I ended up getting an app that I'm going to try out for this, and it's right now it's a free trial. It's called Macro Factor. And right now I'm using the free trial, so it mapped out like how many calories and how many grams of protein and other things. I don't really care too much about the other ones. I'm just really concerned about the protein because I am trying to do some body recomp and firm up, so it takes protein to do that. I just need to be mindful because there will be definite days where I don't even get but like 40 or 50 grams of protein. When I was in MyFitnessPal tracking, I just don't eat a whole lot of protein, so I have to make an effort to hit a decent protein amount. And so that was added in under health and wellness, and I also ended up putting my habit trackers for the next week. I've got work on Project Life, macros, bed on time, tending list, and my AM routine. So thank goodness Olivia tested negative today and she can go back to school next week. So I will be back to the AM routine, knocking it out. It's been tricky to get in my workouts. I've been doing them usually in the evening. She does have a little bit of independent time during quiet time, but for the most part, we're spending that quiet time together. And I have been sleeping in because we don't have anywhere to be, and the girls both kind of sleep in. And so that's been nice, but I've definitely missed that routine I was building. So we will get back to that next week. And to go with the macros counting, I started using this. This is just a Kit Life daily planner. I have a walkthrough on my channel, and I'm adding this to the mix for now. I don't really know if I'm going to keep it, but I honestly thought I would not keep track of any of these checklists things or timed things. I would just use it as a categories, but today I didn't do that. I was going to say breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then just track the protein, but I wouldn't use necessarily anything else. I was just using it strictly because it has 3 different sections. 1, 2, 3. The only COVID symptom, I mean, I'm having like cold-like symptoms. It's not a big deal, but the main symptom I'm having is food tastes off. So I got a chicken sandwich. I was super excited about it, and then it just tasted funny to me. I mean, it was fine, but my taste is off, so I could barely eat half of it. That's just been how things have been lately. My normal protein cocoa that I make in the morning, I've made it the same thing for months, just months and months. It tastes like warm water, like slightly sweet warm water. That's it. I can't taste chocolate. I can't taste anything in it. And so it's been frustrating. And I thought if I set a goal and I got into the macro tracking, at least I know I'm getting, you know, the protein while I'm not able to really taste all that much, and I'm not looking forward to anything. Like right now, food's blah to me. So it's unfortunate, but I'm gonna start tracking that and try to make food a little bit exciting, at least in that way where I'm tracking things. And yeah, as far as that goes, I'm not weighing anything. I'm not measuring out anything. I'm just kind of eyeballing everything. So it's not an exact science for me. I don't want to get really obsessed or concentrated on it, but I thought, you know, it would be more fun if I wrote it down in here. So anyway, that I think wraps up my goals for this month. I will have videos from week to week talking about how I'm breaking it down for the weekly goals in here on my Plan With Me, so you guys can follow me along. Be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And editing Sammy jumping back in, I will have my January goals update and then my February goals video for you guys coming up tomorrow. I'll tell you guys all about how January went as far as goal setting goes. And I will walk you through all of the February goals that I have for the month. Tell me some of your goals in the comments down below. I would love to know what your goals are for the next month. We can keep each other accountable down there. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you conquer your goals this month. Have a great day, and I will catch you next time.